We have a major New York Jets free agency update as the Jets front office is far from done making moves, as a key Jets insider has revealed a huge update on multiple different trade targets for the Jets who they will look at in the trade market, amongst looking for other people as well in the NFL draft of the same position, as the New York Jets try to give Justin Fields as many weapons as humanly possible. And we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys are part of that 70% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, this is the place to be for all New York Jets content. We're making multiple videos every single weekday. We make a video every weekend day as well. You guys do not want to miss out on all the fun Jets Digest stuff going on here. We're having a blast. But let's jump into the video. You guys are not here to talk about this. You're here to talk about football. And the front office for the New York Jets, the new regime, is far from done making moves. Yeah, the biggest days of free agency, not counting the NFL draft, are behind us at this point, but that does not mean things are over. There's still a bunch of key free agents left, some veteran guys who the New York Jets could look to bring in, and we do have another video on that coming out very soon. On top of that, the trade market is still very active, with the NFL draft just days away at this point. We are now hearing a bunch of trade rumors for different teams trying to acquire picks, trying to sell off players for picks, a bunch of different stuff is going on for all of the NFL teams and the trade market right now. And Darren, Mougey, and Aaron Glenn, the New York Jets' new shot callers, are far from out of this. They very much are interested in making multiple different moves for the New York Jets in order to make this team as good as humanly possible for both right now and for the future. A lot of people do believe that the Jets roster is going to perform better, even though last year's roster was way better on paper, as the guys they brought in do fit well together, and it does fit what the Jets are trying to do when they build a culture for this team. But their job's not done. There's still a lot to do for the New York Jets to make this as good of a team as possible. And one of the positions they have to address is the tight end position. And that's something that Jets insider Rich Cimini discussed. And here's what he had to say on this. He mentioned that, sorry, that's the wrong thing, very quickly. Cimini mentioned that tight ends Dallas Goedert from the Philadelphia Eagles and Michael Mayer from the Las Vegas Raiders are reportedly available via trade. Mayer, a 2023 second-round pick, would appear to be more the Jets' liking because he's 6 years younger than the 30-year-old Dallas Goedert. He's expendable after Brock Bowers' record-setting rookie season, which is absolutely true. On top of that, the potential downside is the Jets in a youth movement should be collecting draft picks, not trading them away. That's something Mougey and Glenn will have to weigh as the Jets try to upgrade this roster, is what moves they would want to make in order to feel like they're not gutting this roster. But guys like Dallas Goedert and Michael Mayer both fit this team well. Now, starting with Goedert, he is a Super Bowl champion. He would bring the Jets a veteran presence that would be excellent for this team. He knows how to win. He knows what it takes to win. He could be a reliable target for Justin Fields as well, and just be a real culture setter. I mean, he's coming off of a Philadelphia Eagles team that's made the Super Bowl 2 times in the last 3 years, winning one of them against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, giving them just their second Super Bowl loss since the 2020s, where they've won a good amount. They've won 3 already, so there's a lot to like about Dallas Goedert. Last year, he wasn't plagued with injuries, but he did miss 7 games due to injuries as well, which could have a major impact on how much he costs in the trade market. So the Jets might be able to get a discount on Dallas Goedert for this reason. Goedert, despite only playing 10 games, still had a very good season, though. Had 42 receptions, 496 yards, 12 yards per reception with 2 touchdowns. So a good job by Dallas Goedert to go out there and do his thing. It's really, really impressive stuff that he pulled off. So shout out to Dallas Goedert for doing that. Now, Goedert is going to get moved off the Eagles, and it's just a matter of where. The New York Jets certainly will show interest, but it's a matter of how much they're willing to give up for a guy in Goedert who's really at his peak now and isn't only going to be at the top of his game for so much longer, and especially coming off an injury-riddled year. It would be a risk to trade for him that doesn't seem like something the Jets regime is exactly high on doing. So that leaves Michael Mayer, someone who the New York Jets would absolutely love to look at. He's a very, very, very athletic tight end, and because of that, we've already seen the Jets like that. They brought in Stone Smart, a guy who played quarterback in college for a bit, and now Stone Smart is a guy who, after a few years with the Chargers, is now on the New York Jets, is a complete vertical threat, literally 226 pounds, something like that. So undersized for a tight end when it comes to how big he is, not how tall he is. He is 6'4", so he's fine there. But Michael Mayer, he's a filled out frame, 6'4", 265 pounds, can block, very good athlete as well. a lot to like, but last season he didn't necessarily show a lot because in his he had 21 receptions and 156 yards with 7.5 yards per reception. Didn't score a touchdown, but that's because he was the tight end too. The Raiders drafted Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers is already the best tight end in football, and because of that, what we're seeing is a guy in Bowers who just very, very clearly, he's going to be the way the Raiders move with, and with the Raiders having a guy who they just drafted in the second round not too long ago, they probably will try to move him while his value is still higher, as his value is only going to shrink, as teams already know that the Raiders don't really need Michael Mayer anymore, so they're not going to be giving up too much for him. The Jets might be able to find a discount price on Mayer, especially coming off an uninspiring season, where they're saying, well, we don't know if he's a tight end one, so how much are we really going to give up for this guy when you're talking with the Raiders front office? So there's a lot to discuss there, and I think Mayer would be an excellent addition to the team if the Jets do not decide to draft a tight end at the higher point of the draft. They really do need another tight end on this roster. I understand that Jeremy Ruckert, they want to try him out, and I understand that, and I agree with it. But at the same time, you need another one. You need another guy you could trust. Michael Mayer gives you a bunch of upside, really fits right into what this regime is doing as well, so I think he would play well. Now, receiving, he was a lot better in his first year, obviously, as the number one tight end. He was getting 22 yards per game. On top of that, 300 yards off of 27 receptions, which is 11 yards per reception, so a solid season with 2 touchdowns and 19 first downs as well. Everything went down for Mayer being the tight end too and kind of being out of the offense a lot, so he would be hungry to get that tight end one spot, which is not a guarantee. He would have to beat out Ruckert and Smart for those reps, and if he does that, the Jets are going to use him and use him frequently. So that's something that we very well could see, and I expect to see, and I would absolutely like that move. Now, diving in to something else that Cimini did mention, though, is that that's not it. As Rich Cimini talked about, he's not into comparing rosters to rosters, but as Aaron Glenn said, I am looking into who we have and making sure we build this team the way that we need to build it in our image. So I like the roster. I do think there's room for improvement. What we're looking for in the draft now, I was always taught you can't be afraid of young players, and the Jets are not. Now, I did quote that from Rich Cimini because it does come from Cimini's article, so I wanted to give Rich Cimini credit for that. But that makes you think, first of all, looking at Mayer, he's a young player. Just got out of college. Very recently out of college. Still a young guy. Had a great few years at Notre Dame. Both sophomore and junior year, above 800 yards receiving. Led the independents in contracts? I was saying independent contractors. What the hell's wrong with me? Led the independents with 9 touchdowns and 7 touchdowns. So a great year for Michael Mayer. But on top of that, when you think of the draft and tight ends, you think of Tyler Warren. Warren playing 5 years in college and had led the Big Ten in receptions with 104, getting 1,233 yards as well with 8 touchdowns. So a phenomenal year with 77 yards per game from Tyler Warren, who may be a top 10 pick this year. Very likely could be, and very likely could be to the New York Jets. So you look at Tyler Warren, he does become another option for the New York Jets as well. Very interesting to see how this NFL draft is going to go, how the Jets are going to target this tight end position. But I'm really interested to see how it plays out. And we're going to report on it all. So, guys, make sure you are subscribed to Jets Digest. Like this video. Turn on post notifications. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. We got there last night. It really means the world to us at Jets Digest. Matt and I are super thankful for that, and we are not going to stop dropping these videos for you guys. So make sure to stay tuned for all things New York Jets on Jets Digest. Thank you again. Have a great day, and go Jets. I don't know why I did that. I just kind of wanted to.